Друзі, я вас вітаю. Сьогодні нове інтерв'ю. Нагадую, що Harmonica makes life better. And ми сьогодні спілкуємося з дуже позитивною людиною, класним харпером. Це Kyren Alan. Glad to meet you. Please welcome to our Ukrainian community of Harmonica. І, будь ласка, Андрій, тобі слово. Представляю нашого гостя і будемо спілкуватися.
So, Karen, we're so happy to see you here. You're truly a wonderful guest and my friend as well, and a friend of oral community. And he's so talented. So, для наших українців він дуже талановитий. Він брав участь у цьому, скажімо так, спа-конференції this year. І я сподіваюся, що ви просто будете вражені тим, що він робить на гармоніці. So, little introduction. So, can you tell us, Kyren, how did you start, like, first getting started, interested in the harmonica, and what attracted you to playing this instrument?
Yeah, and first of all, thank you guys for having me again. I'm really excited for this, but I first picked up a harmonica. I probably had one when I was little, you know, just blowing in and out of it, but I never messed with it really. But I remember I got one when I was 16. I was on a basketball trip. It was a tournament basically. And I forget what state we were in, but we were at a restaurant, and this restaurant had a little gift shop. And in that gift shop, they had a little toy harmonica. It was an orange one. And like those cheap plastic ones. It was for $5. And I thought I should just get it as a joke to annoy the people around me, I guess, annoy my parents and stuff. And it didn't play good. Like, I couldn't do nothing on it. But then I looked up videos of harmonica, and there was like there's beatboxing harmonica players, and that was kind of like my first impression. I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. But it really didn't like click anything inside my head. I wasn't like, okay, I want to play harmonica now. But then in December, during Christmas time, I got another harmonica as a joke. Like, my mom got it for me as like a joke, playing on with a joke. And
It was a diatonic?
Yep, diatonic. And it was maybe like a $10 one, so it played a little bit better. But it still didn't really click for me. I didn't really play it. I may have like tried playing a Christmas song or something, but nothing special. But then a few weeks before my birthday, I just picked it up randomly, and I was playing it. And then I remember being annoyed I couldn't get single notes and stuff. But then my birthday was coming up, so I asked for a golden melody. That's what it was, the old version of the golden melody, actually. This one right here, I still have it.
It's your first.
Yeah, this is my first real harmonica. So that's what really got me into it. And then I started listening to the blues, you know. And then after that, that's really how it started.
Yeah, man, that's perfect, because I started as well with golden melody, with old one. And my friend gifted it to me, so on the birthday. Wow. So it's very special for me. And still, I have this one, although it's customized, but still working out very good for me. And I love the overblows on this one. So
yeah, I love the golden melodies. They play.
Темперірована, тому це прикольно. Андрій, дозволь, я відразу запитаю те, що найважливіше для мене. Добре?
Yep.
Карен, ти граєш у блокінговому. Чому саме ця техніка стала основною твоєю? Хто, окрім тебе, грає такою технікою? І, будь ласка, розкажи так про цей метод, його переваги та його мінуси на сьогодення.
Okay, so, Kyren, you play the U-blocking embouchure. Why did this technique become your main one? And who else besides you plays the U-blocking? Tell us about this method. So its advantages and disadvantages, maybe.
Yeah. Well, like when I first started, like I said, I couldn't figure out how to get single notes like every other harmonica player. And I thought because like maybe my lips were too big or something, I couldn't get single notes. But then I remember I looked up videos, and there's these other guys that got bigger lips than me, and they're getting single notes. I'm like, they must be doing something different. So I just kept messing around with things, and then my mind just naturally went to the, because like it's just a single airway. I don't know. And so then when I got to that, I was like, I was getting single notes. So I started learning like um, just like I remember I learned the song by the Beatles, God Only Knows. I don't know if I remember how to play it. Yeah, something like that. And then I just would mess around with that, and it was nothing I learned off YouTube. It just came natural to me. But I remember looking up videos on, or I tried like searching things up because I only seen tongue blocking and lip pursing and nothing about U blocking. So I was confused, and I was like, where's this at? I'm getting clean single notes. I wasn't bending yet at the time, but I remember when I started learning how to bend, I remember that's when I first heard about U blocking. And I believe it was Tomlin saying that it's not a good way of learning because you can't bend as well and you can't overblow as well. And maybe because I'm hard-headed, I didn't listen to him. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to do it on my own. And that's when I started learning how to bend. And then eventually I learned how to overblow. And then I think it's kind of like your body will naturally learn how to work within itself, I guess. Because if you don't have anything else, you have to figure it out your own different way. And I guess that's kind of how I did it. But advantages and disadvantages, I'd say the number one advantage is getting single notes right away as a beginner, because that made me be able to move on to other things right away, like going into scales and stuff, not having to worry about precision as much because I'm locking on to each note or each hole. So that's like the biggest advantage, but also with that comes speed, because you can move your tongue back and forth while also moving the harmonica back and forth. Doubles the speed basically. Kind of like you can kind of do the same thing with your jaw, but your tongue is a bit more movable, I guess you could say. But disadvantages I'd probably say is tone, because it's a tight airway. You have your whole mouth open to there's a whole mouth airflow going when you're lip pursing or even tongue blocking, I guess. But with lip purse or with you blocking, it's a little straw, so that you can adjust the tone by putting more of your mouth in the harmonica, but I've never really been too big on tone, which is probably not a good thing. I probably should. You can always have better tone, of course, but I think that's probably the biggest thing. And of other U blockers, the only one I know of is Norton Buffalo, I believe, is his name. But besides that, I can't think of any other names, unfortunately. But hopefully there's going to be more coming soon.
We actually have one in Ukraine. He's very famous, and he wrote a comment under your video about you
Oh,
blocking. And I remember that he said that little Walter, somebody told that he was you blocking as well. So that's him. You can search him. His name is Konstantin Kolesnichenko, and Jason Ricci knows about him. So he's as idol endorser. So and he plays you blocking like more than 15 years, I think. So
wow.
it's a
Yeah, and
very special ambusher
I
for
heard
some.
about that. I heard about Lil Walter using it, and it's hard to know because I remember I would go like read forums from like 15 years ago or maybe like 10, 5 years ago, and there was one that said that Constantine Reinfeld would U block, and I was like, oh really? And I thought that was cool, but I wasn't 100% sure. But I actually had one lesson with Constantine, and I
Wow.
asked him, do you U block at all? And he was like, no, I don't. So that was false. But it would have been cool if he did do it. But yeah, that's cool that there's another one that's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah. So how was the lesson with Konstantin?
It was good. I just really wanted to get more into musical knowledge of like the stuff that I like the neoclassical stuff. So the 1/5 cadence was maybe the main topic that we talked about. We talked about some jazz stuff, but I don't really remember too much because I wasn't really focusing on that. I guess at the time I was really trying to get that classical ideas down or neoclassical ideas down. So it was good. It was it's super cool being able to talk to him and hear him play, not in person but face screen to screen, I guess you could say. And yeah, it's just cool having a conversation with him, and it was fun, and it was pretty insightful too.
Добре, тоді наше традиційне наступне запитання. Хто були вчителі, хто були музиканти, які вплинули на тебе як на Харпера? Ну і кого б порадив послухати нам, Карен? Кого послухати, щоб так грати?
Okay, so who influenced your playing, and who do you listen to, and who were the musicians that inspired you? So what is your influence on this instrument, buddy?
Well, I think everyone knows this because I can't stop talking about him, but it's Jason Ricci, of course. And actually, before that, it was James Cotton. So my first year of playing, I was pure blues, and I would look up like how to play blues and stuff, and I would see Tom Lynn, of course. I would see Liam Ward. I'd see those two a lot. They have a lot of videos on YouTube on how to play blues. And I'd see Jason Ricci. I'd see him. I'd see his dreads, and I just didn't think he could play. I didn't watch any of his videos, but just from looking at him, I was judging a book by its cover, and I was like, there's no way this guy can play. So I just never clicked on his videos, unfortunately. But for the first whole year, it was James Cotton, and especially like High Compression and 100% Cotton, those two albums. A lot of that funky stuff, you know. He has a real tight band in both of those, and that was that's what I really liked a lot, was that stuff. But even what's it called, Harp Attack, I forgot the album name, but when he's with Junior Wells, when he's with what else is he with, Carrie Bell and Billy Branch, that album, I like that album a lot. And that was my main inspiration. But I wish I remember the first video I watched, but I remember watching Jason Ricci. It was a live video, and I remember him playing, and I was like, what the heck? He's doing all this cool stuff. How is he doing all this? And then there's also another video of him playing. It's like a slow blues, and he's playing an F harp, and I love the high pitched stuff. And I remember he was doing this lick. It's something like this. Right on that 6 overblow. And I never tried overblows. I wasn't interested. I knew about them. I was like, I don't need them. I want to play the blues. And so then I tried learning what he did, and I was bending the 6th draw, and I was like, that doesn't sound right. And so then I realized he was doing the 6th overblow, and then that got me down the overblows, and I can't stop them now. But yeah, Jason Ricci has been my main harmonica inspiration, and he's the reason why I want to continue playing music and make it a profession.
Тоді, Андрій, дозволь мені запитати, тому що коли ми спілкувалися з Джейсоном, на щастя, це мій також улюблений Харпер у світі, і ще з'явився Грегорі Хомерт. Мене цікавить, він дуже така глибока людина. Не те, що це було несподівано для мене, але це дуже приємно. Тому запитання, що найцінніше Карен почерпнув від Джейсона технічно, і, можливо, те, що для мене може більш важливіше, так, філософське життєве. Ось так якось. Спробуй, будь ласка.
Okay, Karen, so your main inspiration on harmonica became at one point Jason Ricci, mine as well, and Konstantin loved him, and Konstantin said that it's his favorite harmonica player, as well as Gregory Homert. So we are so glad that we can interview such people, and actually, in terms of like this inspiration, so what as a student of Jason Ricci, what is the most important thing you have learned from him? So technically, so in terms of like harmonica techniques and maybe as a musical theory, and as for life of a musician, so more like a philosophical question.
Yeah, I have an answer for all three of those. The first one was technical wise, and I think the most important thing I learned from him, technical wise, was being able to play within, let me think about that. Being able to play within technical wise is mainly just scales for me. Scales can help you improvise so much. So his idea of improvising and his idea of scale knowledge is really what is the main thing I got from Jason, and especially patterns within the scales. I'm really a pattern person, or like pedal point type person. That's the type of stuff I like, and being able to mix it up and stuff. And also all of his Pat Ramsey videos, those are super big into his playing, and also mine too, especially like the mixed up Lydian, that type of stuff. Like that type of stuff. Yeah, that's the main thing I really got out of Jason, and he's really mellowed out these later years, especially with him thinking more melodically, I guess, and focusing more on arpeggiating each chord change. And that was a good start for me learning music theory a little bit, because he does have some videos I'm talking about doing which is just arpeggiating the chord changes, which is also just like a blues shuffle. And so that's the biggest thing technical wise, is the learning the slight music theory I got from him, but also the scale knowledge and being able how to navigate that through the harmonica. And I forgot what the second part of it was as a musically, I forgot.
So yeah, as for theory, you said, so more philosophical way. So he is a very like, so as a deep person. So, and I'm sure he gave you some advices as for the life as a musician maybe, and just life advices. So
Yeah. So for making it as a musician, so I think I've had 4 video call lessons with them. The first one was an actual harmonica lesson, and the other 3 were just talking about music business, how to find the right bandmates, stuff like that. And the biggest thing I got was surrounding yourself with bandmates that you like. It's better for you to play with someone that you get along with and they don't play as good than play with someone that plays super good but you don't get along with, because the chemistry comes out on stage basically. So that's the biggest thing I got from that, is that you just want to find people that you enjoy being around with and that have the same interest as you. That's the biggest thing music wise. And to always, I think as myself and as a harmonica player, there's kind of levels to techniques, but just because you're playing higher level techniques doesn't mean the music is always going to be better, right? Like the number one example I hear Jason uses, like he likes Taj Mahal because his playing is just pure blues. It's I don't want to say it's simple, but it's like it's emotional raw blues type stuff, instead of like Howard Levy where it's a lot of technical stuff. A lot of these things are of course subjective, but the main audience is going to want to listen to things that sound good to your ear naturally, because not everyone's a musician. So I would say Howard Levy's music is music for musicians. If you want to make it in the music business, it's good to play something you believe in, of course, but also that is good for music. You want to serve the music, not the instrument, I guess you could say. And I think the biggest thing I got from him, because I was playing a lot of Jason stuff, and that was really it, because I don't really have any other harmonica inspirations, especially like modern wise, besides Jason Ricci. So I asked him, how did you get your own sound? Because I know Pat Ramsey was your main guy. So how did you find your little niches within that playing style? And he said that he had to stop listening to Pat Ramsey completely, and he just started focusing on his own style. And that's what I did. Like, I stopped listening to him. And the first few months, I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what else to listen to. And eventually, I found this neoclassical genre. And after that, I've been really focusing on that. So that's the biggest thing I got out of Jason was being able to find my own voice by not listening to him 24/7 and trying to play exactly what he plays, but find my own identity within his playing, I guess you could say.
Okay. Karen, how old are you?
I'm 20.
Oh,
Oh,
life in future. Андрій, запитай, будь ласка, про освіту музичну. Чи є в Кайрена музична освіта і який рівень потрібен, щоб грати саме як Кайрен?
so Karen, a little interesting question, which I'm interested to. Do you have some like musical education or musical degree, and what's like minimum? What person needs to study to play like you? So.
Yeah. So funny you're saying that, but I'm actually I'm going to school right now for studying music. This is my first year studying music. So that's been pretty exciting. But honestly, the 95% of everything I learned is off of YouTube and music theory wise, I'm saying, because you don't need to go to music school to learn high level music theory. There's so much information online that you could learn it. You just have to, the biggest thing is you have to be interested in it. And that helps you learn music theory because it gets you excited, of course. It's hard to force yourself upon learning music theory because that's when it gets frustrating. But for me, with the neoclassical stuff, it's been exciting me so much that I just keep learning more about it because blues is it's a 1-4 5. It's three chord changes. And neoclassical kind of it's the same roots. It's the 1, 4, and 5. It's usually in minor, but there's also also added stuff in there like diminished chords. There's secondary dominant stuff, but I did not pick it up in a day for sure. I remember Jason Ricci had a video on box shuffles, and he would say you want to go to the 1 and then to the 6, or 1 and then the octave above and then the 6 and 5 or something like that. I don't remember, but I was so confused and I just didn't get it. I tried watching it like 3 times in a row and I just never picked it up. But through time, I've slowly started understanding more and more. And the more you understand, the more you can pick up on other things faster. So, and for beginner-wise music theory, the biggest thing is this, because I'm assuming if you're a harmonica player, you're starting out with blues, and I think you should start with blues. It's a really strong foundation. But just understanding the chord changes and mainly just the root notes. So like second position, 2 draws the root, 4 blow is the 4th, and 4 draws the 5th. That's a really good start. And once you get comfortable with that, then you can start using it within like a scale. So when it's on the 1, you hit the 1. When it's on the 4, you emphasize hitting that 4. You're still playing the scale when it's in the 5. And then you could start like arpeggiating maybe, like how Jason does, or you could even switch up the scale for that quick key change. And that's really the main thing is just understand that 1-4-5. That's a good foundation for understanding. But to take it to the next level, the biggest thing that's helped me with music theory is knowing the harmonica and knowing each note. And that part came naturally just after playing it for long enough. I start to just mainly on a C harmonica. I don't have every harmonica key recognized, of course, but the C harmonica, I know where every note is. And then once you learn that is learning the majors, learning every major scale on a C harmonica. And what that does for you is that helps you learn every single arpeggio, every single chord you could play, and which ones work and which ones don't work. And then also, oh, another thing that I just learned like 2 weeks ago. I knew about it, but I didn't realize the simplicity of it is relative major and minor. So like if you're playing in second position, minor pentatonic, right? That's the minor pentatonic, but if you find the relative major, which is, I'm in the key of G on a C harmonica, the relative major would be B flat major. And then all you have to do is just go up to the B flat, which is the 3-draw half step, and play the same exact scale pattern. So if you play it, the best way to hear the major pentatonic is the My Girl. And so there you're playing two completely different keys, but it's all in the same pattern. Or same with like the two blow minor pentatonic, it's the same as it's the same as the sorry, it's the same as the second position major pentatonic. Yeah, so just being able to pick up little things at a time, that's the most important thing, because you're not going to get it within a day. It took me 3 years or 2 years to finally understand some of these things. So it just comes with time and being interested in it.
Дякую. Слухай, Андрію, в мене з'явилася ідея така. В нас є проблеми зі звуком, ну то не наша провина. І тому, будь ласка, запроси ще Кайрена поспілкуватися з нами. А зараз, можливо, питання від мене і від тебе. Моє питання, я бачив дуже корисне, дуже просте, але дуже корисне відео про оверблоу. Мені сподобалось. Можливо, щось нове в Кайрена з'явилося у баченні того, як робити оверблоу. Ну і, звісно, твоє цікаве питання про його улюблені позиції. Він частково сказав, але, можливо, з іншого куту ти запитаєш. Добре?
Добре, а запитати, щоб він перепідключився, правильно?
Ні, це не допоможе. Не допоможе, ми не будемо витрачати час. Просто запропонуй ще, будь ласка, поспілкуватися, але вже з гармонікою, з якісним звуком. Просто він класно дуже грає, хочеться це слухати. Добре?
Okay. So, a little bit of a problem with the sound. I don't know if I'm hearing it all good, but maybe in Constantine sound we don't hear harmonica very good. But I'm maybe next time we shall speak even more. I think we might do one more interview. I'm so happy that we did this one. And this question I would like to ask you about the overblows. So you have a video on this topic on your channel. By the way, всі підписуйтесь на канал Кайрена, буде посилання під цим відео в описі цього відео.
На YouTube і особливо на TikTok.
Yes, on your TikTok and on your YouTube channel, everyone subscribe. And on your channel, we've seen you talk about the overblows, how to play them. It was a year or so ago, but now you're more experienced in this topic, I'm pretty sure. And so you can tell us again how to do them and how to hold them, and maybe there is something new in terms of training them that we don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's for me, it's pretty hard to explain, because as a U blocker, I may do things completely different. So I don't know how it works for a tone blocker or for a lip person.
That's even more interesting if you tell how you do this with the U block, because
Yeah.
it's very interesting. So go ahead, man.
Yeah, and like also before getting into that, learning U blocking has naturally helped me with lip person, because I've naturally gotten those my lips have gotten more relaxed and stuff. So I can overblow lip pursing as well, but it's the same technique within my mouth. My tongue is just floating there. My tongue doesn't do anything with the overblows. Maybe the way back of my tongue lifts up a little bit. But I remember when I first was learning, I just couldn't figure it out, like everyone probably. And I remember so a lot of people, when they try to overblow, they try to do the same type of bend as like a blow bend, but it's different. It's coming from further back in your throat for me. And I think of it as like a hiss, like a cat hiss, like a that's kind of what I do when I play. So if you can hear me hissing, I don't know if it's coming out or not. But that's kind of what I got, but it wasn't that natural right away. And I remember maybe out of frustration or just maybe I couldn't figure anything out, I would just start blowing that just calmly, and then I'll try to just push as hard as I can. And then it's probably not good for the reeds, but then I eventually would find the spot that works. And then actually I think it's my first video on my YouTube channel is me trying to play to that Jason Ricci backing track that inspired me to learn how to overblow. And you can hear me fighting with the overblow a little bit sometimes. But through the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. It's kind of the same with bends. Or I think it's the exact same thing as bends. The more you do them, the more comfortable you get. And for holding them, you kind of just hold the note. I don't really know how else to say it. But bending it is just kind of pushing where you're at just to the next level. You're trying to push as hard as you can. So this is my practice harmonica. It doesn't play nearly as good as any of my other ones. And I like that because it makes me it makes me work harder. So when I go to a real good harmonica, it comes easier, I guess. But like if I play it, if it comes out, I'm just pushing even more and more and more. And I think Jason Ricci, he does really good overblow bends. But what kind of inspired me to push him super far was Konstantin Reinfeld when he was at the Seoul convention 2 years ago. And he did a part where he would just like, I don't remember exactly what it was, but he would push the heck out of that overblow. And I was like, that sounds so cool. And what I like about overblows is it sounds more like a guitar in a way, guitar string. You start there and then it has that same feel, and that's why I like it, especially on the 7 overdraw. It's a bit harder, but let's just get a lower harmonica so it's not super high pitched. But you could start on like the 7 overdraw and bend it up to the 8 draw note, which sounds super cool. So like, and then it kind of just gives like a cool guitar type sound. And I really like guitar. That's been my biggest inspirations this past 6 months or something. But yeah, I would say it just comes with time. It sucks to say, but also everyone's brain and everyone's mouth works a little different. So you kind of just have to find what works best for you, and then eventually you'll find it.
Yeah, man, thank you, because overblows are a really big topic, and for somebody it's hard, but the main thing here is just to train them as well as bends. That's for me what worked. So if you hold them like bends, because when I we were interviewing Gregory Homert, he told a lot of overblow, and he played them like the Stevie Ray Vaughan on guitar. So here's a C harmonic. So he was playing like. So he was like, can you hear me?
No, I didn't hear it at all. Maybe he did.
Oh, Kostya, can you hear me? Playing?
Yes. Да, твоє овербло чутно.
Okay. So hopefully on the interview it will catch.
Yeah.
So yeah, in terms of playing the overblow, you just do them I think like bands. So you go all the pitches down as you can and all the pitches up, and work all the pitches and trying to add maybe some vibrato on them, trying to experiment with them basically. So as well as bands. So on all those like. So they go. Actually, the six-row ball can go. Gregory told me, and he showed me up to the 8 draw, basically
Yeah.
sound, and that's insane. So overblows are
Схоже,
like a
схоже.
guitar. I love it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Нікого нема найкращого, хто би так грав. Я все шукаю, але не можу знайти. Будь ласка, наступне запитання про музикантів, ну, гітаристів. Якщо твоя ласка, запитай, будь ласка, Андрій.
So, Kyren, I've seen your Instagram, I've seen your inspiration, and this question is very, very, very interesting one. Which guitarist inspired you the most? How did Jason Becker and Joy Zafola influence your playing?
Yeah. Okay. So Jason Becker and Joey Tafola, I both found them because of a guitar player named Yngwie Malmsteen. He's a Swedish guitar player, and he's the one that really made the name neoclassical metal. And the idea of it is, the main idea is playing Baroque style period chord changes and melodies just played super fast, basically. So the thing that once I heard him, I was like, yes, this is what I want to play. This is what I like. And it's interesting because classical music never really interested me that much. Like, I never really listened to it. But sometimes it's just about hearing it at the right place and at the right time and by the right person, and you'll get inspired by it. And for me, that was Yngwie. And so then I started watching videos on how to play like Yngwie, and this is when I started getting more into music theory. And it was a lot of the videos, they were talking about harmonic minor. So that's the main scale I've been really focusing on these last few months. And at first it came with frustration because there's a 7 overdraw in there. And it's right next to the 6 overblow. So it was really tough at first being able to figure this out. But so I was like, you know what? It must be the harmonica. So I wanted to get a harmonic minor tuned harmonica, and then I got it, and I was like, well, this is taking away everything I like about the harmonica, because it was just a normal blow draw pattern. But what I love so much about the diatonic harmonica is the fact that you can get these bends and these overblows that weren't even supposed to be there in the first place. So I was like, you know what? No, I'm just gonna learn it on a Richter tuned harmonica. And then I just kept listening to Yngwie more and more. I'm the type of person, when I find a musician that I like, I really just listen to them, and then I don't ever get tired. I listen to the same 3 or 4 albums. Like, it's the same with Jason Ricci. I don't really explore out of what I like already, and I try to just focus on that. So with Yngwie, I would just listen and listen and listen. And the one thing about guitar is that you could play it, unfortunately, faster than the harmonica. You have 4 fingers, then you can use 2 hands to get extra speed. But for harmonica, I only have 1 tongue. So I could only do so much, but I could still get these ideas. And that's when I started getting into like arpeggiating, and so like the 1/5 cadence, stuff like that. But with Yngwie came these guys that came a little after him, like Jason Becker. He's been a really big inspiration because he started playing when he was a little kid, and then by 19 he was virtuosic. He was one of the best guitar players ever, and he could do all that arpeggios. And on the guitar they call it sweep picking, where it's and it sounds super cool. And so then I would listen to him a lot, but then I learned more about his story, and he had he got Lou Gehrig's disease, which is ALS. It's the same thing that oh, I can't remember his name, but basically it's your muscles get like completely weakened and you become paralyzed. So he's still alive, but he's been paralyzed for like 40 years now, stuck in a chair, and his parents have to take care of him. But he still makes music. He communicates with his eyeballs. He has his own sign language, like with his eyes, which is super cool. And he's been a big inspiration, not just music-wise, but musician-wise. And then Joey Tafola is just another cat that does the neoclassical stuff. And so then these are just, it's all 80s for me. It's all like that 80s stuff that I like a lot. And yeah, those are my big inspirations. Marty Freeman too. But it's a lot of that. And this is going between, that's just arpeggiating two different chord changes. But that's what I've been liking a lot. And then trying to build off of that has been really fun.
Yeah, man, I'm so sorry for Jason, because each disease, it's like for Jason Becker, each disease, takes a lot of time for your relatives, for everybody, and I hope that he has, like, his spirit is strong even though he is weak. So, and in terms of, like you were saying, a lot of words arpeggiating. So what does it mean? So it's like taking some notes of a chord, or what does it mean, and playing it,
Yeah,
basically?
taking notes of the chord, mainly just the three notes that make a chord, the 1, 3, and 5. But sometimes there's like a 7 in there or 6. But most of the time it's just a 7. Like dominant chord is usually the 5 chord with the 7, with the minor 7.
Як Джейсон, 7, да. Мгм.
Yeah. And so just going between it works really good in D minor, but the harmonic minor works really good in, or I guess third position, sorry. It works really good in third position. But also the harmonic minor scale works really good in, I believe it's the 3 draw fourth position. Thank you. It works really good in fourth position, but for me, I really like to play in third position because I just like the sound of it more, and you get the blues notes, like you still get that flat 5 on that 6 draw bend. But then, and I like the way the 7 overdraw makes the harmonic minor sound. It makes it sound even more dissonant, and that's kind of what classical is you're building up to something that sounds like it's far away, and then it resolves again to something nice. So like, it wants to resolve really badly, and that 7 overdraw just takes that to the next level, because it's almost impossible to get it in perfect pitch every time, because it's like, same with overblows, it's very difficult to get the perfect pitch every time, but that actually works in this case. And yeah, and then with the arpeggios, going back to that, sorry, it's basically just plain single notes of a chord. So D minor, super easy, 4, 5, and 6 draw. And then you could just play that within the whole harmonica. So it would be then 8, 9, and 10 draw. And then the hard part is the 1 draw, 2 draw, whole step, and then 3 draw, whole step. That 3 draw whole step is the hardest one, because a two whole step is the same bend as a 3 draw step and a half. So you gotta have to make a super small adjustment. And I'm not perfect at it at all, but it gives it a cool sound, like going down the 1-5 cadence. That's what it's called, going between the 1 chord and 5 chord back and forth. So like this. And then it sounds super cool, right? And it's just that 1-5 cadence going down. And then you could also, I got this one from Ingve, you could also mix the harmonic minor with it and still do it. So like, let me think how it goes. And then there's some extra theory in there because it goes to the secondary diminished at one point. You don't have to really know what that is. It's basically you're thinking of you're in the 5 chord now, and then so your 5 chord turns into the 1 chord, and then that 1 chord you're playing the diminished 7. That's the simplest way to think about it. But yeah, it's just that those type of arpeggios going up and down, back and forth, or even like a circle of fifths type thing. Like this is from a Bach song. I don't remember what it's called. Yes, the names confuse me sometimes. But like, let's see. This is usually done with 2 instruments and they play back and forth, but and then you can do it again. And it's super pretty. It's super beautiful. And it just it works better on the harmonica than you'd think. It's tough still, but you know, with practice, you can get anything down on it. But yeah,
It's very
those are
cool.
the arpeggios.
How you
in
playing, it's
that.
very cool. В мене запитання з контексту, Андрій, будь ласка. Це дуже популярне відео таке на каналі Кайрена. Скільки ж часу потрібно, щоб вивчити та зіграти бодинарі Баха?
Okay, so I know it became very popular on TikTok. How you play it, like the Bach, Badinary. So very smooth playing and very accurate playing, I would even say, and very fast playing. So it's insanely hard. And you've talked about your inspiration, all this stuff from the 1 chord with the dominant chord, or in third position going to 4th position. And this helped you. And so the question is, what, how much time did you study, like playing this piece and preparing all this stuff for YouTube, for TikTok, so Bach? Yeah.
Yeah, well, for that song, I heard Yngwie play it. Yngwie Malmsteen, the guitar player. And I was like, hey, I want to play that. That sounds super cool. And I realized he got it from Bach originally, the Baroque period composer. And so I was like, I want to learn how to play it. And so then I looked it up and see if anyone played on harmonica, and Konstantin Reinfeld did, and he even had a little lesson on it. But he only went through the first half because that's the easier part. That's when it's in 3rd position, but then it modulates to the major key, and that's where it gets a little tough with the overblows and stuff. And so then that part, I actually had to read the sheet music for it. And so then I've gotten a lot better at reading sheet. The thing about classical music too is that it forces me to learn how to read sheet music, because some of these things aren't just on there for harmonica. And that's a good thing because it just helps you bring up your skills to the next level, I guess. And so for me, I just remember, what did I do? I remember learning the first part from Konstantin's video, but he was playing it a little more like a smooth R&B version, which sounded cool. But I wanted to play it like kind of fast, like how Yngwie did. So then I learned that second half, and then what would I do? I'd play it at half speed first. Playing along with the flute part until it sounds good, and then I bring it up to 0.75 until I get that down, and then I bring it up to full speed. And then when it gets to full speed, there's still some parts I get stuck on. So then I would focus on those parts at a time until I get them down and comfortable. And yeah, that's really the thing about it, is learning. The easy part is playing the notes, but the hard part is getting them to speed. And the thing about Bach is that it's way more complicated than just the notes. So I'm playing the song's notes, but I'm not playing the music per se, because there's these little trills that you can't get all the ways all the time. And my music teacher here, I was showing him this other song. I don't remember the name, unfortunately, but I think it's played on it. So. I think it's called, one's called Bure, I think that's the dun 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 dun, and then this one's called Badenary, or I have them mixed up. It's something like that. But I got that one from Ingve and Jason Becker. They both played that. So that made me want to learn that. And then he started showing me the original sheet music that he wrote. And he has these little trills. It's a lot more than just playing the notes, basically. So I'm not really all the way there yet with the classical ideas. And I remember when I was at Spa. There's this, oh man, he was such a character. He played the chromatic harmonica, and he played mainly classical music. And I would show him, look, I could play Bach, I could do this. And he's like, no, that's not Bach. Because my pitches on the bends or on the overblows weren't perfect. The intonation wasn't all the way there. He's like, no, that's not Bach. If you're not playing the exact thing, it's not Bach. So I'm really not, but it's the fact that it's still inspiring me, and I'm playing it how I like it, because I don't want to be necessarily a classical musician, but I like the classical ideas and I want to put that into my playing. So I'm getting the ideas of it. I don't have them all the way down yet, but it's the ideas that I'm really getting that are helping me. But yeah, that was the process, was just slowing it down, really slow, and doing it one note at a time, following the flute, and then just trying to get up to speed.
Я, знаєш, Андрій, скажи Кайрену, що єдина людина, якій можна побажати зіграти ще 24-й каприз Паганіні, це було б класно, до речі, з тією швидкістю. Запитання про участь Кайрена у СПА. Ну, знаєте, в нашій мові це звучить так досить дивно. СПА – це Society for the Preservation and Advancement of the Harmonica. І Кайрен вперше приймав участь, я так розумію, так, Андрій? І там запалив на цьому СПА і питання про джейсоновські вертушки. Да? Будь ласочка, запитай. Тобто він використовував їх і цим запам'ятався, так?
Yes, but not only this. So let me ask you.
Да, а я на секундочку, да, мені треба кота випустити, тому задавай, будь ласка, перекладай. Угу.
Okay. So Konstantin will join us when his cat will be feeded, I think, or something like that. But the question is very interesting because you told about SPA, so Society for Preservation and Advancement of Harmonica. So in Ukrainian це як спільнота харперів в Америці для розвитку гармоніки. Дуже відомий такий форум гармоністів. And the question is about so let me find it. So actually I've seen like 2 clips of you, and actually from this chromatic harmonica player that is your friend, his name is Ohio, or what his name is?
Which?
So,
Ohio,
Ohio,
the Japanese one?
The Japanese, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
Ohio.
I've seen from him. Yeah, so, and I've seen 2 clips. So you're like playing pretty major stuff with Shane Sager, and super insane third position like this harmonic neoclassical minor stuff, and you did like this super cool like Jason fast vein in the middle octave without hands. So where did you learn it, and how did you come up with this? So without hands and
man, it's kind of funny because it's kind of with like learning how to bend or learning how to overblow. It just kind of it came with time and playing U-block, and I just realized that I'm using a lot of my tongue while just holding the harmonica still, like the I realized that my tongue is doing a lot of the moving, and I was like, imagine if I just hold it up and play like that, and I started messing around with it.
And is U-blocking playing, yes?
Yes. See?
And so then
play something more.
Oh.
Play more.
Like the
One more.
like that.
Cool.
But
This is
it's the same.
amazing.
It's the same idea as me holding it. It's just my lips are holding it instead of my fingers. It's kind of it's the same thing because my tongue is doing a lot of the work, moving back and forth. And so I thought that'd just be kind of cool to do on stage because I don't think anyone's ever done that before. But
And
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that you came up with that trick on one's party, no?
On what?
On someone's party you did. So you said this like a party trick. So I
Oh yeah,
always
the
thought
party
that you.
trick. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I thought that you came up with it on someone's party, and
Oh
like
no, I didn't come at no. It's just like I guess it's a saying. It's a party trick. So like when someone asks you what's
yeah.
something cool, yeah.
Дуже добре. У мене
So
є, якщо можна, Андрій, запитання, тому що я так розумію, що далі Кайрен поспішає на тренування, він займається баскетболом, да? Як правильно ця команда називається, да? Сію Пуебло. Чи допомагає йому спорт, ну взагалі просто спорт у грі, ну мається на увазі як дисциплінувати свою гру чи щось таке? Добре?
okay, but Kostya, let me ask about spa before.
Окей.
Yeah, so maybe
І потім тоді про баскетбол, добре? Мгм.
yeah. So okay, I'm trying to find this question, and for I found it. So as already mentioned, you were at spa this year, and you did a really big impression on me, on everybody on social media, and I'm sure on lots of people at the events. And so what emotions did you have, and what conclusions did you make after this first year as a spa member, as a spa player?
Man, it was pure excitement. Pure excitement. It's so cool being around all these other harmonica players. But at the same time, no, I wouldn't. I would say, okay, so but this is going back a little bit. But before SPA, I got invited to this thing in Mississippi called the Pine Top Perkins Foundation, and that was that's his all blues thing. And there, I felt a little out of the box with everyone because a lot of it was blues, and I like blues, but that's not my main thing I want to just achieve with the harmonica. I want to do a little more than just playing blues, and so I felt like I wasn't fully able to express myself all the way when I was there. But when I got to Spa, I found people like Jared and Benny, Benny Bostrom, and being able to connect with people that also have the same interests with like Jason Ricci, that was super cool. But also with the other half was that I don't really listen to other harmonica players. Like I don't know any modern, like I know names, but I don't really listen to any modern blues harmonica besides Jason. So it was kind of hard to recognize all these people. Like I've seen some of their faces, which is really cool. Like Dennis, I do like Dennis Gruling a lot. I like his stuff on Instagram. I like his playing, but I don't really follow the harmonica world as much as I just follow the things that interest me. So I felt like um, I didn't really I didn't really fit in with a lot of the groups, but everyone was so kind and so nice. It's really just like a big family, and it was such a great experience being able to meet people, be able to put faces to names and stuff like that. It was really really cool and such a fun experience. But my main thing was hanging out with Jared and Benny had the big chord harmonica, and we were doing that neoclassical type stuff, and that was so fun. But honestly, I just uh, it,
You were enjoying the moment, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I kind of felt like so I knew I always like what I'm playing, and I'm not gonna be like I'm always wanting insight on what I'm playing too. So I would ask a lot, and I had a lot of good conversations with Paul Messenger, and we would talk about music and all that stuff, and like how to really make music out of it. And that was actually the first time I sang in front of people, and that was very scary because I'm not a good singer, but I still sung, and it was fun, but it was pretty scary. But it was the big thing was that I just wanted I kind of wish Jason Ricci was there because that's my main dog, and um, the fact that he wasn't there, I was like, well, I'm just gonna make the best impression out of myself and show that I'm more than just playing Jason Ricci stuff, even though that's kind of all I kind of did was play Jason Ricci stuff. But when I got into my performance and I was able to play with the things I've been working on, that's kind of where I was able to show where I differ from him and where I'm trying to go.
Thank you. Тепер про баскетбол, Андрій, будь ласка.
Yeah, I'm so glad you were at Spa, and Benny Bostrom is a great. I know him as a Patreon member from Jason Patreon, yeah, Patreon. So, and we've talked to him as well. So he is really advanced. He helped me some stuff from like reassembling my chromatic. So, but the question now I want to ask, and Konstantin wants to ask, is you're a basketball player and you are having a practice session after we talk on this interview. So the question is, you play for basketball team CSU Pueblo, if I'm pronouncing correctly.
Yep.
So does sport help you in your playing and discipline as a musician?
No, I'd say it's actually the complete opposite. Um, because it first of all, it's a it's a sport, you know, so it drains a lot of your energy, so it makes you tired and stuff, you know, so it kind of, and then going to school too, I have classes right after practice. It's the weekend, so I don't have classes today, but you know, every morning I have weight lift and then basketball and then classes, and that takes up all my day. So I kind of don't have a lot of time to practice as much, unfortunately. But I do have the opportunity to listen, and listening gives me ideas, and that's what really helps me. So, and I, unfortunately, too, I do a lot of my learning at night in my bed. Like I'm listening to music or something, and then I hear something. I'm like, oh, I wanna play that. So then I look up videos on how to play it or something, or I have to try to figure it out. And so then I'm laying in my bed, and I've been trying to figure something out for 2 hours, and it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I have practice in the morning. But yeah, I wouldn't say it helps me, but it does help. Basketball does help me with scheduling my days every day, and it keeps me moving and it keeps me busy for sure.
And actually, I've seen a very cool clip, and I tagged Honor Harmonicas or Honor Music channel on Instagram. So you're playing the basketball, and you're playing harmonica.
Hmm.
So at the same time, and you're like on your finger, you're like spinning the
Spinning
ball.
it.
So it's really cool. And I've seen on your channel interview with Marcos. So it's very inspiring. Thank you for that.
Oh yeah, man.
Interesting, Karen. Who is your favorite player in
My
basketball?
favorite player of all time is Kevin Garnett. He's not in the league anymore, but
Wow.
yeah.
Interesting. Окей, next question. Хотілося б запитати про, ну, не секрет, що більшість музикантів пробують інші інструменти. І хотілося б запитати про хроматику. Чи спробував грати Карен на хроматиці, які враження, чи буде він в цьому напрямку ще щось робити? Thank you.
Okay, so you play other instruments, and I know I've seen you playing the piano, a little bit of guitar, and even chromatic harmonica. So tell us about how guitar, how piano works for you. Does it help like to understand musical theory and developments on the harmonica actually? And about the chromatic harmonica playing, so I've seen you playing like some jazz pieces on the chromatic, maybe some Stevie Wonder stuff. I'm not sure because it was a long time ago. So, what are your impressions about? Are your impressions about chromatic harmonica, and do you want to develop playing on it in near future?
Yeah, starting with the chromatic question, man, I really, really do like chromatic harmonica. And guys like Cy Leo or Shane Sager, I don't remember how to say his last name, but yeah, I really do like the chromatic, and it really is its own instrument. And yeah, I wish I could play it super good, and one day hopefully I can. But for yeah, I have nothing really bad to say about the chromatic. And I love that you can get each note naturally. You don't have to do that. But it's also the same thing. I like the diatonic more because I could do these things within my mouth to achieve these notes that were never there. And I think that's what really makes me like diatonic more, is the fact that I'm doing all these things inside my mouth that you can't see that are achieving something that wasn't supposed to be there. And I think that's just what I really like about it. And like I said, like when I was at Spa, there's that chromatic player that played classical, and he'd play with big ensembles and stuff. And he would be like, you need to play chromatic if you want to play classical stuff. And like, man, I don't know, I really like the diatonic. I don't know, man. And he was like, no, you should try it. But yeah, I play, the simple like D minor stuff that you could play like that. Let's see. Like, but and I remember I got into it pretty heavily for a little bit because of Philippe Jers too. Oh, I love Philippe Jers. He's so good. And yeah, just I love the chromatic harmonica. It's so great, but I love the idea of it. I love everything about it. But the diatonic is just somewhere extra special in my heart, I guess. And with keyboards and guitar, keyboard, what made me start playing keyboard? It was Mariano. Mariano, he's my jazz harmonica teacher, and it's a lot of like gypsy swing jazz type stuff. But he was like, you need to learn keyboard so you could like visualize and play like these, helps you understand melodies and all that stuff a lot more because it's hard on the harmonica. And so then that made me start learning keys a little bit. But I don't look at the keyboard and see things. Maybe because I started learning the major scales on the C harmonica, that when I'm thinking of something, I always go back to the C harmonica and I find that pattern and something like that. So my brain is full. It's a harmonica in there when I'm thinking music for everything. But yeah, I've been learning guitar too, and I love the guitar. I think the guitar is a bit cooler than the harmonica sound wise, just because I like the guitar a lot, especially with all the music I listen to now. It's just straight up guitar stuff. But I love that I'm doing it
Are
on
you
the
play? Are
harmonica.
you playing now guitar?
Do I?
Yes.
I play very little. I picked it up maybe like 2 months ago, but I'm actually, so when you're in music school, you have to play an instrument, and they don't have harmonica as like, you need to have a professor that plays the harmonica, plays the instrument so you could grow. But they don't have that for harmonica. So I'm doing guitar, and I have my acoustic back there. It's in its case.
Mm.
But I like electric guitar more. So I have this one right here. And
Mm.
I play like pentatonic stuff,
Um,
nothing super crazy, but I really like that fast, straight stuff. But I've gotten a lot more into the melodic side of it too, especially with this guitar player named Marty Friedman, who played with Jason Becker. They were in a band when they were in the 80s. But what was the question? Oh yeah, just the instruments I play. But yeah,
About
my brain is
Harmonica.
I just see diatonic harmonica for everything. But I love the chromatic. It sounds so good when Shane plays. It sounds so good when Philippe plays. It sounds good when Ohio plays. I love the chromatic, but the diatonic is where it's at for me for sure.
What is this chromatic kind of brand?
It's
Suzuki, I think.
Suzuki.
Yeah.
yeah. I got it because Philippe plays at Suzuki.
Мгм. Так, я навіть заслухався. Да. Питання, звісно, традиційно важливо. Коли початківець дивиться, як грає Кайрен, може сказати, та ну, я так ніколи не можу зіграти. Я завжди це питаю. Можливо, для когось щось буде нове. Який би порадив план для вивчення Kyren? Ну, що за чим? Які кроки? І, можливо, ми б чули про Golden Melody, але може зараз він порадить, з якої гармоніки, ми все це кажемо про діатоніку, з якої гармоніки треба починати, і, можливо, якісь вправи, такі базові вправи, які must have, які треба виконувати кожного дня, які реально допомагають класно грати. Ось особливо так.
Yeah, very good questions. So, couple of questions, maybe like a little blitz for beginners right now. But I want to thank you for like bringing the chromatic in the interview, because I really love the sound of how you play the chromatic. You sound exactly the same how you sound on the diatonic. So the embouchure gives like this taste, and I know that Konstantin Reinfeld said in one of his honor lives that there is a chromatic harmonica player that plays the U blocking embouchure in Estonia.
Yeah.
In
Actually,
Europe.
sorry to cut you off, but there's actually a lot of chromatic players do play U blocking. I do know that. Sorry to cut you off. I just wanted to put that in there.
Yeah, no worries, and this is amazing. So, and I really love Ohio. He puts a lot of on Instagram content, and recently I've enjoyed Billy's Bounce, how he played it and tried this on diatonic and from one of interviews, but never mind, for the questions. So, what is the minimum amount of theory that is important for beginners, and what basic exercises do you recommend for those who are just starting out? So for beginners, and what advice would you give when choosing the first harmonica? So what harmonica from the box, and what is your favorite harmonica?
Well, I think if you're starting out, the most important key you need is a C, because a lot of the videos you watch are C, and then probably an A next. The A and C are very important. But my favorite key, I like the higher pitch harmonicas. I think E flat. I really like E flat, but I also like what I did with it. I like the way I made it look. It's based off a guitar, but I like that high pitch. I like the high pitch. Maybe because the first song I really learned was "Born in Chicago," Paul Butterfield, and that's on a D harmonica. So it's either E flat or D. Those are like my two very favorite keys. But starting theory-wise as a harmonica player, real beginner, I think you can get away. You can play, I think, almost everything blues, especially in the older blues stuff, if you just learn the second position minor, or I guess you could just say, let's say the blues scale. Just learn the blues scale and the major pentatonic scale. Those two will get you literally so far, and it's what guitar players really do too, especially in the old blues and even rock stuff. It's all in the pentatonic box, in the pentatonic scale. So those are super important, but being able to understand, like, if you're playing a C harmonica, you're playing in the key of G, second position, and being able to know that stuff is very important to be able to play. Actually, I have a funny story. I remember it was my first ever open blues jam I ever went to, and I was playing, the first two songs I think were good, but then the last song he called it in E, and no, he called it in B, so I would need an E harmonica to play in second position, and I knew about third position, but I just wasn't thinking for some reason. I didn't play in third. I grabbed a B flat harmonica and thought that would be fine, but it was not fine. It was not good. And that's a funny story, but yeah, it's being able to know what key you're playing is the most important, of course. And I don't know if that counts as theory or just basic knowledge, but also theories is being able to focus on each chord change on a 1-4-5. So, and you don't even have to change anything besides just maybe emphasizing hitting that root note when it goes to the 4. So hitting that 4 blow when it hits to that 4 chord or something like that. And then there was one more question, I think. I forgot.
Yeah, maybe about
I'm sorry,
harmonicas.
about key and what models of harmonica.
Yeah.
Advice for beginners on something, because no,
If you're
golden melody is cool, but maybe something else.
And which is your favorite model as well?
Yeah. Well, I would say now I'm not sponsored by Honer. I try getting sponsored by him a little bit. I don't think they like me too much. I don't know. But anyways, the new Honer Golden Melodies suck. They need to bring back the new one, the old ones. Everyone says it.
Так,
But
так багато хто каже, так.
yeah. But to start off, I start with the Golden Melody, but they don't make the good ones anymore. They make the bad Golden Melodies. And I'd say Honer does make good harmonicas though. And I would say for a good starting one, I would say the Special 20 is that like this is the one I practice with. It's not my best playing one by any means, but it's a really good strong foundation one. And I think with the comb sticking out a little bit, it may help with people getting single notes better. I'm not too sure about that. But honestly, these Chinese brands are getting pretty good. So you can get a really good $25 harmonica. Kongxing makes good ones. East Top makes good ones. I mean, you can it just
GDR.
if you yeah, JDR makes really good ones. Yeah, honestly, the harmonica game is starting to get stronger in other areas than just Honer and Seidel. And I don't like Seidel. I don't like the way their reeds are for me personally. But yeah, I'd say just go with a good $25 to $50 harmonica. And for my favorite, it would have to be either Crossover or Marine Band Deluxe. They're basically the same. But
Звісно.
I like Crossover more because of the bamboo. And I don't like my ear. I don't really know if there's like a big sound difference, but also the screws on the Marine Band Deluxe are super duper annoying. I don't like the screws. They're the flathead instead of the whatever ones you call them. And I take apart my harmonicas a lot, and dealing with the flatheads are pretty annoying. But yeah,
But
my
I'm
favorite
pretty
part.
sure. Sorry to interrupt, but I'm pretty sure Honor did adjustment in these harmonicas recently, so you can buy with not
Yeah.
flatheads, and that's really cool.
Yeah, you're right. I think they did change it. So shoot, yeah, either Marine Band Deluxe or Crossover. I don't like the original Marine Bands. I actually, my second ever harmonica was a Marine Band, but it maybe because I played my tongue, it just takes the moisture out of my mouth completely because it's the wood and it's not like resined at all or anything. So those ones don't work too well for me, playing wise. So Marine Band Deluxe and Crossover are my favorite.
What about Seidel? Try Seidel.
Yeah, I have tried it. I've only had one before. Then I got it because of James Cotton. They said he played a Seidel. So I got one in 1847. And I liked it. I really didn't have any complaints with it. I don't have it with me. It's back home. But yeah, I liked it. But I remember I tried adjusting the four draw, and it most likely was my fault because I probably didn't know what I was doing. I really still don't know what I'm doing when I'm customizing them.
А я
I just
прослухав,
know the
Андрій, да,
simple
Кайрен
things.
казав, що він ендорсер Хонора, да?
No, Kyren, не endorser Honor. He's not. You're not an endorser of Honor by any
Nope.
means.
Nope, not by any means. Nope.
Окей, окей. І ще
Um,
питання про кроки для навчання. Коли ти вже пройшов цей етап, Ну, може, декілька якихось порад, що за чим вчити, коли ти вивчаєш гармоніку. Степ бай степ.
Ну, Карен сказав трошки про те, що треба вчити акорди, арпеджіо, гами,
Так.
мінорну і
Так.
мажорну.
А далі що?
Пентатонічну.
Що далі робити? От ти вже до якогось рівня дійшов, і що далі?
Yeah. So, question really cool from Konstantin. So, you hit that level that you know pentatonic scales, you know where the chords are in blues. So, what's next? What do you learn next after all of this
It's
stuff?
Are you talking about like what the direction I'm heading, or for people that are trying to learn?
For people that are trying to learn.
Yeah,
And
what's
both your experience, how it worked for you as well, maybe.
yeah, what's next? I remember one thing that kind of blew my mind was, I think it was in one of Jason's videos talking about either the 5 or 6 overblow. This is when I first ever thought about it. It's from switching this, or like switching your key signature for a quick chord change, basically. So like you're playing, you could start in second position. Once it goes to that 4 chord, you could play in first position for a little bit, and then go back to the second position. Then when it gets on that 5 chord, you can go in the third position. And that kind of, I never thought about that at the time, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So I think trying to experiment with that and learning just the pentatonic or even major pentatonic and those are pretty. So that's the thing. So why second position works so well is that you could play the minor and harmonic minor on the first octave. Oh, excuse me, the minor and major pentatonic scale pretty easily in the first octave in second position. But when you get to like the minor blues scale in first position, there's a 4 overblow and a 6 overblow. And then when you want to get to the major in third position, you have to do a 5 overblow. So that's why second position is so diverse in playing in both major and minor. But being able to, I think overblows as the same as bends, and to play the harmonica at even like intermediate level, you need to learn how to bend, of course, and you need to be able to hit these. So why not, if bending is something that wasn't originally supposed to be on the harmonica, so it wasn't overblows, but why don't we think of them as the same thing? Some guys just hate overblows for some reason, and I don't really get why, because it's the same idea as bends. So I think being able to overblow is super important, especially if you're playing the second position. You want to get to that second octave up there, right? And I hear a lot of guys, they start in the first octave, second position, but then they go into the major pentatonic for the second half. And it sounds cool, but it sounds cooler if you could play the minor pentatonic on the second octave as well. And it gives it a whole different sound as well, and especially like the 7 overdraw, which is the flat 5, the same as the 4-draw bend. You just get a little more different feelings about it. And then also another thing Jason Ricci does is mixing the major and minor, kind of like a call and response thing. And like this is something like, yeah. That's going in between the major and minor, just going down. And that's another great thing you could do on. And then just being able to learn how to improvise better. And that a lot of improvising is just pattern stuff. At least that's what it is for me, in pedal points. So yeah, honestly, you could become such a great harmonica player just off of watching Jason Ricci videos. And that's where I've done 90% of my harmonica learning, is just off of that.
Last video from Jason, it's very cool.
Oh, I haven't watched it. I haven't been watching his videos too much, but the tongue blocking sucks one, that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you have some original compositions?
You know what? I have things I've been working on, but I don't really have full songs like with um no, I really don't. I mean, I have stuff like I'm
Why? Why? Why?
improvising.
Why? Why?
Well, I'll tell you why.
Well, I think you have one with another musician. It's
Oh, I
called
do. Well,
Radio.
yeah, I guess I kind of
Radio.
do. Yeah.
Папа Андрій
Yeah.
більш
Yeah,
знає, да?
radio, it's called Radio Voodoo, I think. And there's this a blues one too. And so
What
for
harmonica
me,
do you use on that record, by the
that
way?
one I'm using a B harmonica.
Wow.
Yep, you played a B harmonica because he's in F. The song's in F sharp for some weird reason. But F sharp, is that right? Yeah, I think that's right. But yeah, well, for me, I do a lot of improvising to backing tracks, if that counts. But I don't think it does. But I've been working on actually like some stuff, and there are a lot of them are just ideas. Like I think I played just one, but it's like the and stuff like that. And I have an app on my phone where like I write chord changes, and I work like I have so many ideas, but I need to find people that will help me make music. I guess I need like a guitar player, I need like a drummer and stuff. I need a bass player, but I don't know anyone. So I have a lot of ideas. I've written like lyrical stuff. Like I have some songs written down in my oh, actually, and when I first started, like after a year of playing, I actually did make some songs on an app called BandLab. I would just download backing tracks and I would sing along and have a little solo to it and stuff. It's nothing good, but
Андрій, а
it's
запитай, будь ласка, чи співає Кайрен? Чи я так випустив цей момент?
Oh, so question from Constantine. Do you sing
yeah,
in somewhere?
I'm starting to sing, yeah. And you know what? It's funny because I really, really do like singing. I love singing along to all Ingve songs and stuff like that. I love singing, but I don't think I have a good singing voice. And I don't, how do I say this without sounding mean? Or, so my biggest inspiration music-wise is Jason Ricci. I love him. But I remember the
Maybe in
first time
future we'll see a group Kyren and Puebla harmonicas. Maybe
Yeah.
with your songs, with your original
yeah,
songs and
yeah.
that's inspirational.
hmm
Окей, традиційне запитання важливе для нас дуже. У нас є, ну, звісно, Андрій це вже не раз казав. У нас є українська спільнота українських харперів, і ми би хотіли почути якийсь, може, пораду челенджу для просування гармоніки, для вивчення гармоніки, для покращення нашого звуку і тону, як казав Джейсон. Будь ласка, запитай, Андрій.
So, traditional question on our interviews, especially with guys from abroad. We have our community, harmonica community, Ukrainian one, in one of like famous messengers, and each week we do some challenges. And I want to ask you, what would you recommend? What challenge would you like for us to do? I can give some
Ooh,
examples. The
yeah.
last one we did is playing two harmonicas in different keys in one song. Before that, we had a harp wah challenge, so like this
Oh,
cup
okay.
challenge. So
And
anything
we have
like
ideas from Jason, from Gregory, and
as well. Jason said like higher octave challenge and gypsy jazz challenge. So anything, what's on your mind?
Um, that's not, that'd be kind of hard to do. I was gonna say like, shoot, uh, um, I don't really like. I could think of like,
play Ordinary of Bach.
Yeah, like yeah, maybe like a
Oh,
okay,
it's
yeah,
very
do yeah,
complicated. Oh no,
your
it's
own
hard.
your own classical piece. Like try to write your own little pretty melodic or harmonic classical piece using the harmonic minor scale, something like that. Maybe I don't know.
К Бетховена. Джейсон любить його грати, да?
But this would be very hard for us because we mainly have like beginner harmonica
Oh,
players
okay.
that play folk songs, so maybe something a little
Is
easier.
it? Do you have a lot of like? Is the majority of them lip pursers?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, here we go. Do a song playing. Oh, maybe that's a little too hard still. But you playing a song only using tongue blocking or using tongue blocking as like a main point in the song.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we haven't done such yet, but we will. So thank you.
Yeah.
It's very cool because our challenges are, and I've seen like different guys on other platforms from Europe. I know Konstantin Reinfeld has a society on Discord server has one, yeah.
Hmm.
And so I've seen the activity, how many people write and how many challenges there are, and I would say that we are more active, and I'm so happy about it. No, by no means, but it's so cool that in each country has like a lot of harmonica players, and when they gather together on different forums, even online, even through social media, even like here on the interview, is so great. So thank you
Yeah.
for that.
Так, я також хотів би подякувати, Карен, дякую за твій час, за
Yeah.
відповіді. Thank you for your time, your answers. І, можливо, наприкінці є, що Карену сказати українцям, якщо він, можливо, знає, що у нас відбувається, ну і українським харперам. Просто побажання наприкінці нашої доброї розмови.
Okay, so Konstantin says, if you know what's happening in our country, what are your wishes to us Ukrainians and for our Ukrainian harmonica society, for harmonica players there in Ukraine?
You're saying like what? I'm sorry, I missed the question that you were.
Yeah, I can repeat. So the question is, what are your wishes for us, for Ukrainians, for like our country? We are going through rough stuff, as you may know, or not. And what are your like wishes for our harmonica society? So for each of us. So
Yeah. Well, what's happening in Ukraine is really terrible, and I just wish the best outcome for you guys. And I think the best thing you can do is just stay close to the Lord, pray every day, and stay positive is the number one thing. And the harmonica world is so close, and you think of them as your family because they are. You have the same interests. I bet you they will have your back always, and just yeah, always connect yourself with people that you feel comfortable with, and yeah.
Thank you very much. We wait.
thank you so much,
We
buddy.
wait your next time, and
Of course.
we check sound, and і будемо слухати нові original songs від Карена.
Yes, absolutely. All originals we will listen from you, and we wish you to develop. And by the way, what are your future plans as the harmonica player? What are you planning to do
Well,
soon?
what I really want is to have a band and play live music and be able to make an album, everything like that. I really want to be like a traveling musician, but also I want to be a teacher as well, especially like more like a harmonica teacher, not like at a school or anything. But the the idea of because I remember when I first started learning, especially from Jason, the excitement I had and the want of learning more. And I want to be able to fulfill that need for people that have the same feeling I had when I started. And that's something I'd really like to do.
Thank you very much. Harmonica makes the
Thank
world
you.
better. Дякую. Побачимось
Thank
наступного разу. Так, да.
Kyren, thank you so much, and I wish that all your gifts will be like made perfect. So
Oh, thank you, brother.
God
Likewise.
bless you, man. God bless
God
you,
bless
man.
you.